to someone who, let me finish, to someone.
You interrupted me, but go ahead.
No, to someone who
and
is
it's your favorite
a
thing
member
to interrupt me and then say I'm interrupting
no,
you. Go ahead.
No.
Some of their interactions with youth who call them and the ideology that they push out. And
so you're admitting it's political?
I'm admitting that what they did.
Is cruelty the point? Is it a feature or a bug?
Well, look, I don't know.
Hello, everybody. Guys, this is the third day in a row now with Trump and J.D. Vance racism and bigotry crap. Check this out, and we'll talk about it.
The Trump administration is ending specialized suicide prevention services for LGBTQ plus youth who call into the suicide prevention hotline. The 988 Lifeline will still provide access to crisis counselors for anyone who calls, but in July it will no longer have specific services to help LGBTQ youth. Since July 2022, more than 14.5 million people have used that 988 Lifeline, and of those calls, about 1.3 million were sent to the specialized crisis counselors for LGBTQ youth. And I guess the question is, why do this to a population who has a very long history of having more suicides than the general population? First to you.
Well, a couple things. Number one, as you pointed out, the hotline, the 988 service still exists.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, the only thing happening here is that they're cutting ties with this group, the Trevor Project, which a lot of conservatives have problems with because of the way they handle some of their interactions with youth who call them and the ideology that they push out. And
so you're admitting it's political?
I'm admitting that what they did is cut ties with the Trevor Project and keep the 988 service open so anyone can call that. So I don't see that any services have been cut. They are against this Trevor Project, I guess, that has been operating this particular silo, but you can still call the thing and talk.
But a service is being cut, a specific service
no,
where
you can literally call the 988 hotline.
Where if you're LGBTQ, you don't get then transferred to someone who, let me finish, to someone.
You interrupted me, but go ahead.
To someone who
and
is
it's your favorite
a
thing
member
to interrupt me and then say I'm interrupting you. But go ahead.
No, who's a member of the community and can speak to these issues, to a group of people who are disenfranchised, in many cases ashamed, and don't feel comfortable talking about their depression, their suicide, their sexuality, to their parents, to their friends, to their teachers. This was a lifeline for a very specific group of people who have very few people. If I called in, I could talk to basically anyone, that's true. But this is a group of people who needs a certain kind of advisor and counselor to understand the unique problems that they are confronting. And so this just feels cruel and, as you said, political.
Is cruelty...
And Papi, your Vice President Eyeliner Vance is in drag every day. He wears eyeliner every single day. Am I missing something, guys? I mean, who's JD supposed to call when Trump ignores him for another boo-boo like Elon Musk? I mean, JD's out here calling Hispanic senators Jose, like in my video yesterday, being a racist to try and get Trump's attention and the majority of the Republican Party, because this is what they like. And what a surprise this is happening, as a lot of people are against, even in his party, Republican Party, against this whole Iran thing. What a surprise. Throw them a little racist red meat to get them right back in line, right? Because as we all know, when guys in the little pointy white hoods and the little white dresses, the KKK, if you didn't get that, go to vote, it's down ballot Republican through and through.
The point, is it a feature or a bug?
Well, look, I don't know, and I would love to know what's wrong with this Trevor Project. Here's what I would say. If there is something wrong with the Trevor Project, they should find a different group to give these young people special help, because it really is the case. I mean, I grew up in rural West Tennessee on the edge of a small town. Things haven't changed that much. And so I think that if you don't like one service provider, you can find another. When you don't find the other, then it seems like you're just picking on this group.
This is yet another gut punch to a population that candidly has been abandoned by both sides of the aisle these days because it's politically expedient. Speaks to a larger point, though, of these things that Trump is doing that get outshined by some of the bigger news items. Things like the personnel director still hasn't submitted his background check, but no one's really paying attention to it. Him talking about phasing out FEMA, or Stephen Miller saying that there may be some conditions of patriotism to the Department of Education dollars that may be going to states. It's a trend from the Trump administration, and we should all be concerned about it.
I want to thank you all for being here on this.
Scott just sighs and giggles when asked, is cruelty the point? like the little creep and the worm that he is. This segment was really short, but I think it's important. I got a rant here that I think is worth listening to. And again, if Scott sees protests on campus, he cries and yells, anti-Semitism, we need to protect these Jewish kids. Oh, but LGBTQ community will inevitably be caused harm by this. Maybe even some pass away. He giggles. He sighs. I mean, yes, it's about the cruelty and the bigotry. It's always the point. It's the conservative life tree where branches of racism, misogyny, sexism, anti-trans, anti-gay, anti-anything that isn't white blooms lushfully. Just in the past 3 days, on Juneteenth, Trump says we have too many holidays because, of course, all of a sudden on Juneteenth, it's a bit too much, right? We all thought about that. Just yesterday, eyeliner Vance, the guy in drag every day, the vice president calls a Latino senator Jose when he knows that's not his name, because of course this is what they do. Racism is just greatly rewarded by conservatives and Republicans. This is what they like. And now this hotline thing. I find it awfully convenient as they're trying to decide what's going on with this whole Iran war thing, and a huge amount of the American population are against it. They got to throw out this racist meat. It's incredible. And here my last bit here. This is why I constantly call for unity for all groups that are constantly being attacked, demonized, marginalized, criminalized, humiliated in one way or another. And those who simply stand against it as well, even if you're not being, discriminated in any way. We may be strong separately, but we will be unwieldy if we stand together. It's my honest belief. They, the right wing, I can tell you, are united in their hatred and bigotry. That's for damn sure. This is why I fight, and I think it's important as a Hispanic person to fight for the black community as much as possible. Because to me, not only is it important for a Hispanic person and for that to become normalized, to fight for the black community, but this to me is by far the most disenfranchised, discriminated, marginalized groups of all. And I believe it's by a long shot. One of those reasons is simply and just disgusting. You can see skin color from a mile away. You can't tell someone, for instance, is gay from that far. Or I don't know, maybe you can. I've heard some people have those gaydars, those gay radars. But in all seriousness, guys, this is why I'll constantly go after Hispanics that voted for Trump. Because of all the marginalized groups, as a Hispanic myself, we are the largest population of the discriminalized groups. Trust me when I say there's a strategy, at least, and tactics involved with how I try and make videos and what I choose to make videos on. It's important I do what I can to knock some sense into some of these people. To be so stupid as a Hispanic Trump supporter, and so foolish to vote with the party of white hoods and little white dresses and think you will somehow benefit is so short-sighted and embarrassing as a Hispanic. And I felt it was my duty to do something, anything that I can. And I think it's imperative to show them as much as possible. Everything that this administration is doing is because you decided to vote in record numbers for a party that thinks you're subhuman. You know how humiliating that is? Keep it up. They're trying to get rid of things like birthright citizenship. And you thought that you were going to be able to pull that ladder up behind you, right? Now that you're here legally. And watch as they go after the quote-unquote legal Americans. I wonder which Americans they will target first, Papi. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.